October 2021 set a new record in average home price here in Toronto, surpassing the previous month's record. Market conditions are tight. We're seeing a lot of interesting comparisons from the previous months as well as the same time last year. My name is Pine Stein. I'm here to break down the latest stats released by the Toronto Real Estate Board here in this video. Stay tuned, let's get into it. TREB just recently released their October 2021 stats, so we'll be diving into that for this video. And if you stick around until the end, I'll also be giving you my perspective on where I think prices will go in the near future. Now, starting off, we set a new record for the average home price in October 2021 at $1,155,000. This actually breaks the previous record from the previous month in September of $1,136,000, which signifies about a 1.7% increase. And I'll explain why that is a little bit later in this video. Moving on to the number of sales, in October 2021, we saw 9,783 sales. This is slightly higher than last month. It's not unusual for September and October to have similar levels of sales, sometimes higher, sometimes it's lower. This number is actually the second highest number of sales that have ever been recorded in October. The previous record, if you can guess, was last year. If you recall last year at the beginning of the pandemic, we saw slower sales activity in the GTA overall. And towards the fall of last year, we saw that activity start to pick back up, which is why we had all this pent-up demand being released in October of 2020. Now, October 2021's number is only down 7% from that October 2020 number. So we're still seeing a high number of transactions for the month. It's just less than it was. Condos, interestingly enough, saw a double-digit price growth from last year. This is not surprising, as last year in the fall, they were at a dip as we had a high in supply. And so shortly after that, we saw condo sales start to ramp back up around October of last year. Condo prices as a whole are at or have surpassed pre-pandemic levels. Rents are slowly creeping up. So as we see this huge price gap between detached homes and condos, we're starting to see more first-time home buyers start to re-enter the marketplace and targeting condos, as well as investors jumping back into the market now that they see that rents are slowly starting to pick back up. Now, with new listings and active listings, this is where things get interesting. October saw 11,740 new listings enter the market. This is actually a 34% drop from last year. But let's step back and think about that for a second. There were approximately 1/3 fewer homes available in the marketplace this time this year than there was last year. And we still saw the second highest number of sales that was ever recorded in October. Fewer supply, still very high demand. That number of new listings is also down 13% month over month. This is a trend we've been noticing throughout this year, as every month there seems to be a fewer number of new listings entering into the market, which leads to tighter market conditions, which is why you see prices still going up when you have less demand than there was last year. An example of this is when we look at the detached home market, where the average price in October was $1.54 million, which is actually a 27% increase year over year. The 416 saw a 21% price increase, while the 905 areas saw a 29% price increase. And when they average out, it's approximately 27%. In conclusion, market conditions are still tight. We're seeing a little bit less demand this time in the year than in previous months, though there's still very high demand, and we see a trend of less and less new supply entering into the marketplace, which means that the supply that is there is getting soaked up fast, and we will likely see these tight market conditions continuing on throughout this year. That said, there are still ways you can get into the market. You just need to be a little bit more strategic with how you go about it. My name is Pine Stein. If you found this video useful, give it a like, subscribe if you want more piping hot real estate content. And if you do have questions about Toronto's real estate market or about buying and selling a home in general, feel free to send me a message. You can also find me on Instagram as well with @PineRealEstate. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, ciao.